everybody? Happy Thursday. Welcome to our market review. If you are a customer of ours, then be sure to look forward to June 9th. We've got our class coming up on budgeting, the specifics. Really looking forward to it. I've actually added a few things to it. If you're not a customer of ours at Jazz Wealth, that's okay. Keep us in mind. If you want to join us for the budgeting class, it's $65. All the proceeds go to support Drum Corps International, something I'm very passionate about and look forward to supporting every single summertime if you're familiar with those guys over there. Check it out on the website. You can actually sign up for the class up until June 8th, I believe. The class will be June 9th at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. We're going to do it live, and then, of course, it'll be recorded. If you can't make it to the class, but you still want to be a part of it, don't worry. You'll be able to watch that recorded as long as you like. Also, if you're thinking about us here at Jazz Wealth, we manage our own portfolios. We do not choose mutual funds. We do not go buy something else for you. We manage it in-house. We actually, the guy you see is the guy you talk to, is the guy that's actually managing everyone that finds me here, your portfolio. So we actually have all of our performance of all 6 of our publicly posted portfolios. More portfolios to come, actually, as we get them approved by compliance. So be sure to check them out if you think you need help with your investments or you want somebody to do that for you, then happy to help you there. Also, check out our events. If you click on events up at the top, lots of cool things coming. We're trying to add like 6 or 7 more things there, but don't want to scare you guys, so we'll just be adding them little by little. All right. That's it. Keep me in mind, of course, jazzwealth.com if you need help. Here's the stock market review for the day. As the thumbnail suggests, tariff tantrums, right? Just tariffs everywhere. Are you going to get some tariffs? They're going to hit us back with some tariffs. Just crazy. The markets initially were lower on the day as the U.S. announced that they would put tariffs on steel and aluminum for the European Union, Canada, and Mexico, something they've been hinting at for a while if we couldn't get a deal done. So who's going to pay for that wall now, huh? Mexico's like, oh, no, you don't. Mexico came back, announced tariffs of their own. Let's actually go over to the Mexican markets. I'll show you on the screen what that looks like. There's an ETF. There's a couple of them, actually. My favorite is EWW. Tracks a broad range of the Mexican markets. This is what you see on the screen. The EWW fell to new lows today, down about 1% on the day. It's down a total now of over 9%, almost 9%, actually. It did rebound off the lows there. So Mexico came back. They said, you know what? If you're going to put tariffs on us, we're going to put tariffs on your apples, pork, bellies, and steel, the flat steel that we make to send to them. Nice try, but that's not going to cut it. So all of this sort of absorbed by Wall Street because we all know now it's a negotiating tactic, right? It's not Trump just being ridiculous. It's Trump negotiating, and people are getting used to how he does things. So love him or hate him, this is the style and approach that he's taking. And so Wall Street's kind of figuring that out now. The timing of these responses is perfect. They wait until after a strong up day, knowing the markets would see some weakness there. So given that the tariffs take place tonight at midnight, they could have announced this yesterday, the day before. No, they chose the timing absolutely perfectly. Don't think that Washington doesn't know what you're paying attention to. Very cool. Without being a conspiracy theorist here, look at all of the major events where they went and spent our money. All happen when we're all looking to the left. During World Series, go back to 2008 or 9 and look at when they came up with some of the government support programs, all the bailing out of Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and everything. It happened while we were watching the last game of the World Series. It happened while we were watching the Super Bowl was one of them. Really cool how they do that stuff. So the timing is definitely paid attention to. I wouldn't doubt if that's someone's actual job or a group of people's jobs to follow that along. Now, last day of the month, right? It's May 31st. We thought we'd look back at some stats. We like some geeky stats around here. Here's the stats you get. On May 31st, if you go back to 1950, you count up all the days the markets were up and down, 68% of the time the stock market was lower since 1950 on this very day each and every year. So it's actually more than common for the markets to be lower no matter what the news is. It was lower by over 1/3%, 46% of the time. So almost half of the time the markets are lower on May 31st. Just a fun stat I thought I'd share with you guys. Let's go back to the charts. Other than the tariffs, there really wasn't a lot of news. Financial media actually spent time on Athena Health, the CEO. Remember I told you guys on Tuesday when all the bad news was coming out, Athena Health, the CEO actually said he was sorry for beating his wife 10 years ago. That's the kind of news that's coming out. And today, financial media spent a lot of time on this. Like, I mean, obviously nobody wants to see anybody getting beaten, but What are we talking about that for? Why is it all of a sudden we're making a big deal out of this? It's because there's not a lot of other things to focus on. But there were some good things. Let's go over to some charts today. Here we go. We've got General Motors. Yeah, J-Block. We're going to point that out. General Motors up almost 13% on the day. Good news for them. They're getting an investment from SoftBank, which is allowing General Motors to put money in as well. SoftBank's going to put $2.25 billion into only the autonomous vehicle, the Chevy Cruise. That's what they're going to focus on. GM said we'll put in $1 billion of our own money, $1.1 billion actually, to help get this project off the road. The focus for all of these billions of dollars is on the Chevy Cruise. They're going to make an autonomous driving Chevy Cruise. In 2019, it's going to be available, but you can't buy it. It's actually going to be a driverless taxi service. So this autonomous vehicle thing keeps going. Stay tuned to our video tomorrow morning. We're going to talk about the autonomous boats, the autonomous cars that they're working on, and even flying vehicles. So we'll cover that in our video tomorrow morning that we'll post. Well, the move today on General Motors, you can see it on the charts. I don't need to tell you. That erased about 3 months worth of losses. So if you bought General Motors anywhere in the last 3 months, you're a happy camper today. You got a decent return. If you've been a long-term holder of General Motors, well, it looks like all of your patience through that downturn has paid off. So let's continue to move on here. Speaking of autonomous vehicles, we're going to just stick with that theme today. Google. This is really interesting. Uber, if you don't know, is going to go public. I don't know if you've seen the television commercials. You've seen the new CEO, because the other guy was a sexual maniac that was just like ridiculous. He deserved to be out of there. The new CEO is trying to put a nice, clean, happy face around the business because they're going to go public next year. 2019 is when they're going public. They're actually renegotiating some of their debt today. They're asking for they want to pay less on the debt that they have. That actually just came out. I didn't read all of that completely, but so Google is now going to partner with Uber, or at least they're in the beginning stages of that. And by Google, I mean Waymo. So Google owns a company called Waymo. They're already doing autonomous vehicles. They're just not making a big deal out of it. And so they're going to partner up to sort of link up their apps together so that they can work. Remember, Google just sued Uber, and Uber lost. They had to pay $245 million. So Google's got the upper hand here. Really smart of them to say, we'll wait till the check clears, and then we're going to start talking to you. So interesting there. Google and Uber working together now. And Waymo, by the way, they're working with a lot of companies. So it's not just going to be this one single dynamic partnership there. Let's take a look at Walmart, 1.74% lower on the day. The company announced it's called Jet Black, and this is going to be a huge failure. So I don't normally make predictions. I can't actually say specific things about stocks without getting in trouble. But the Jet Black program, which is a part of their store number 8, it's sort of like the secret thing that they're trying to keep secret, which is not so much of a secret anymore, really. But they're coming out with Jet Black. Here's how this works. $50 a month. You sign up, it's $50 a month, you get a personal shopper that'll make recommendations to you. All you gotta do is text them. You text them and say, it's my wife's our anniversary, I'd like for them to, I'd like, flowers, or I'd like to get her a new shirt or something. And they'll text back pictures. And if you click on those pictures, you can actually buy that product. Well, when you buy it, they're gonna wrap it up, they call it a white glove delivery, where they're gonna wrap it up, they're gonna deliver it for you, they'll handle the exchanges, all through text messages. So this is Walmart's answer to trying to get back at Amazon. This is a horrible idea. Number one, all of these things where you pay a subscription service and then you get some kind of product, it costs more for them to acquire the customer than it does in revenue. They never make enough money to make money back. Look at Blue Apron, great example. Trunk Club, Nordstrom just told us about Trunk Club. It's doing okay, right? But it's not making a lot of money. So in my opinion, this is going to be a massive failure. I hope they've got something else up their sleeves. Walmart does say they do have something else up their sleeves. They're going to, and they're working on their cashier-less grocery stores, just like Amazon Go. I actually don't know. I haven't heard any updates about the Amazon Go. But in my opinion, that's ridiculous. $50 a month. There's already a service out there where you pay by the minute, where you could text somebody and they'll do whatever you want by the minute. And I believe it's like 30 cents. So you don't need to pay for a subscription. I'm not sure what they're doing over there. Enough of that. Let's talk about retail for a minute. The Commerce Department said consumer spending hit its highest level in 5 months. So apparently everybody's out there spending money, and Express, which I'll be very honest with you, I did not know Express was still open. No idea. That store, I remember, I used to work in the mall when I was a teenager. I remember the store then. I can't even tell you where they have stores, but apparently they're doing well. The company says that their online orders are now about a third of their overall net sales. They had a 33% increase in their online sales. The stock started off very high today, very high. Boy, that's eloquent, Dustin. You're doing a great job. So the stock started off higher today by about 8%, closed the day lower by 7%. A lot of retail weakness out there at the moment. And speaking of retail, we'll go over to the dollar stores, which I like this, to be honest. Dollar Tree was lower by 14%, weak sales there. That symbol's DLTR. And then Dollar General, DG, that stock was lower by 9%, all on weak sales. But you kind of like that, right? You don't want the dollar stores to be doing really, really well if the economy is doing well. If everybody's out spending money, we want to make sure they're spending it on the garbage, those $400 headphones and all the ridiculous watches that people buy that really aren't worth that much. We don't want to see them going to dollar stores. And so when that changes, that's used as sort of an economic barometer to say, well, if the dollar stores are doing well, people are cutting back. They don't need the name brand potato chips anymore. They'll go to the dollar store and buy whatever garbage is in those bags. So that's what we kind of want to see. So although those stocks were lower on the day and did hold back the retail sector, I like it. I kind of like that idea. Taking a look around, we had semiconductors down by about 0.5%, a little bit more now on the close there, and financials lower as well. Goldman Sachs, I guess there was some insider trading there. They're getting rid of a guy. I think Goldman Sachs in general, no big deal. They're going to survive that. Let me see. Goldman Sachs. Down about 1.5% today. Goldman Sachs, in my opinion, with that Marcus, they're offering a product called Marcus. Right now, I believe it's just high interest savings accounts, but they're going to watch what they do. They're going to branch that into mortgages, car loans, personal loans, you name it. They're going to expand that. They're going to kill it with that. I really, really think that as a long-term play, with Marcus, that's going to do really well, and that should show up in their bottom line. I'm thinking really soon, because that company, that division of their company, just killing it. Let's go over to oil. Oil pulled back again today, gave back almost all, if not all, of its losses from yesterday. Still holding support. Many of the oil futures traders don't really care about this today. This pullback is just a temporary blip. They wouldn't change their mindset. Any major changes to analysts or futures traders' opinions are going to come when and if we break below this trend line. That's what all of the futures traders watch. Not my opinion, it's what they watch. That I promise you. So if we go back and look, a couple other things. Bonds were quiet today. Long-term, short-term bonds, not a real big deal there. Volatility spiked a little bit if you're one of those short-term traders and just curious about that. Gold cannot get above the 200-day moving average. Here is the actual price of gold, currently sitting around $13.03 an ounce. It cannot get above the 200-day moving average, even with the concerns in the market. So more weakness on gold. I actually like to see the price of gold closer to $12.20, $12.30 in the long term. We'll see what happens. I'll just cover a few other things. If you have any questions, happy to answer them before we go. But looks like we have GameStop down. GameStop reporting earnings. Where are they at? Yikes! GameStop getting hit after the close here. Lululemon up about 5% after the close. Not looking too bad there. They reported earnings. Seems like everything's doing well. Workday, I don't know if you follow that. It's not really that popular of a stock. Now down 3%. And Ulta Salon, sticking with the retail sector. Ulta Salon reported earnings down a little over 2% at the moment. So if you're following those short-term moves, that's that. Marvell up a little bit. That's about it, really. Yeah, not much else to report there. All right, let's see what we have here. General Motors up 12%. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, I got the Oprah reference. I love it. Hey, Elliot, did any news come out today regarding GM to bring their stock up? Yeah, they're getting $2.2 billion. Covered that a minute ago. $2.25 billion from SoftBank. They've been looking to invest. They finally chose General Motors, all on the autonomous vehicles, by the way. Square, yeah, a lot of good stuff coming up there with Square. They're really good at kind of dominating the headlines. They're borderline as good as Elon Musk. I'll say it. Just, you know, they're getting there. With being a new investor, do you think 20% into small cap is a good investment? Depends on where you're at, age-wise. 20% into small cap starts putting you a little more aggressive, but small caps have been killing it. If we pull up the Russell's down a little bit today, but no doubt the outperforming sector of the market. I wouldn't mind if you're a shorter term trader, if you could start that trade a little bit lower, a little bit, you know, a little more of a discount there would be good. Anyways, that's all I have for you. I appreciate you guys watching. If I can help you in any way, jazzwealth.com. Happy to help you. Talk to you later.